Welcome to the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes and one of the great settings in all of college football. With the scarlet and gray already rocking this house. This matchup today, part of the lifeblood of the sport. A rivalry game where the results will be remembered for a lifetime. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the fourth-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Buckeyes will get us underway with the opening kickoff. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Michigan's offense will get the first swing of the game. Stakes are always high in the game. Careers are made and lost because of it, and they'll have to manage their emotions, guys.
Some games in college football just mean more. When you think about Ohio State and Michigan, you think about not just Big Ten implications, national title implications, Heisman Trophy implications. Late in the year, David, this is just must-watch TV.
Must-watch TV. Two of the winningest programs in college football history. This game, I tell you what, in recent years has really brought back the tradition and been so much more competitive now that Michigan's also getting some wins.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon. Contact in the neutral zone leads to that penalty. Good news for the offense. They'll pull it on the read. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And this is a defense that prides themselves on their ability to go sideline to sideline. It's going to be tough for this offense to go QB option in this game. And you just saw the speed of the defense right there, getting a big stop.
Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. To the air, it's Warren. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. The colors of the day were maize and blue when Michigan won a close one last year.
It was Ohio State leaving the stadium feeling blue after that one, too. The way that Michigan enforced their will late in that game. They were the most physical team when they needed to be, and David, they're going to have to do that again to pull out this W.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're the coach at Ohio State and you won every game on your schedule, but you lose to Michigan, it's an unsuccessful year. So he's heard about it all offseason, and these players have too, and they'll be ready for some revenge. And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. So Ohio State's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. This is just a great matchup to watch on the outside, and who can win downfield in the passing game.
Man, this reminds me of 1997, Charles Woodson versus David Boston. Two physical athletes that are going to be going toe-to-toe all game long.
Yeah, two alphas, two guys that play the positions where you have to have such confidence, cornerback, wide receiver. Let's see this throwdown.
And the entire playbook is wide open on 2nd and short like this. Quick release on the RPO. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Now from the 48-yard line, it's 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. There's so many great rivalries in college football, guys, but I think this one, because of the disdain and the excellence, sort of rises to the top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are great rivalries scattered all around this country. In-state rivalries, interconference rivalries, with great history, great pageantry. But I think what makes Ohio State versus Michigan unique is the fact that more often than not, these are two teams competing for national championships at the end of the year, and this game really does determine the national landscape.
And 19 national championships between the two teams. Late in the year, it always mattered. You go back to 2006, #1 versus #2. So always disdain, always hate. Don't even call each other by their names. Like, this rivalry means so much to college football.
Trying to get to him. And he just throws it away. That is not what you're looking for on 3rd down. 4th down coming up.
Defense has been looking so good on this drive so far. They already set up 3rd and long, and now they take all the throws away down the field. Great job in coverage. Great job reading the QB's eyes. So there's nowhere for him to go with it. He's got to throw it away.
A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines. Not his best work. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
We've reached the end of the first quarter, and it has been a defensive battle, and the stats tell the tale so far. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. To the air, it's Warren. The throw to the outside is complete. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
You know, it's hard enough just to catch passes in college football, but to do it while also being cognizant of where you are in the field and making sure you get a foot down in bounds, that's really impressive.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. He's got him wide open. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Coming after it. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. These two first squared off in 1897, and this rivalry is almost like a history of the sport itself.
So much history, so much tradition. I mean, I can go back to 2006 when there were 1 and 2 in the country. You know, like, these games really matter. The uniforms are clean. The athletes are flowing. There's tons of athletes all over the place. This is always a huge showdown.
And you think about some of the great coaches that have graced the sidelines in this rivalry. Bo Schembechler at Michigan and Woody Hayes at Ohio State. And it's amazing, in a conference full of trophy games, maybe the greatest rivalry doesn't even have one.
3rd and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on 4th down. Throws to the wideout. Fires into traffic. It's picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Timing has to be so good. You're throwing at his own defense over the middle of the field. The ball's got to come out specifically on time because these windows close really quickly. Ball there thrown a little bit late. As a result, it's an INT.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this as a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for the position to get points right away. Now, let's get this offense back rolling again, create some momentum, just get a few first downs, and I'm in scoring position.
They're lining up on 1st and 10 from the 38. Use the play fake, now to throw. A strike downfield. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Made the snag and strolled his way into the end zone. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a 2-play drive. The kickoff team on the field as they'll send this one away. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. On the run, it's Edwards. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
You see all this movement in football now, all the stemming, the defensive line, they're sliding right before the snap, creating confusion for the offensive line. Then they're moving back and stunting. Really good job by the defense. Continue to move, continue to stunt, continue to get in the backfield and make this life hard on this running back.
Now on 2nd down. Dropping back, it's Warren. Got his man. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback, and they find them, and they sit down in them and make big plays. It's tough to sit back in zone against such smart players nowadays.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Under heat, and he gets rid of it. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it.
Yeah, this offense might want to think about moving the launch point for this QB because if you take hits like that from the pocket, it's really tough to complete passes.
The Wolverines will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Jesse, a very productive drive last week. And they got him. He'll get him down for the sack.
When you're on defense and you get to play outside linebacker, it's about as good as it gets, right? I get to rush the passer just like this and put him on the ground. Then I get to cover in space. I get to move all over the place. Great job by the outside linebacker. The most fun position to play in college football.
That's the last thing you want as an offense, a negative play, a sack on 1st down. From the gun, give on the inside. Offense calls a timeout here, critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd down, going up top. Skips away from pressure. And he couldn't find quite enough running room to reach the line to gain. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. And the Buckeyes will call on their punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. A 1st down for the offense. Back to pass, it's Warren. Quickly to the tight end. Stopped at the 24-yard line after the 10-yard gain.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, whether it's in the shoe or the big house, when you have these two programs with all that's at stake today, you know emotions run high in a game known simply as the game. And it's been said football is a game of inches, and guess what? Based on the comparison between third down conversion rate today and the average yard per play, how can you argue that? I mean, the low-lying fruit is to look at some of the explosive plays we've seen and panic. But really, this game is going to come down to which team is more efficient when they have the ball and how they play when it matters most. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Michigan and Ohio State plays out.
On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They'll start the third quarter with the run. Got it across the 20 and out to the 23, a pickup of 4.
And it's just simple first down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. They go right back to him. At the 35, he's open. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop.
Those outside runs, if they can get the edge like they do, great job by the right guard, right tackle, getting the edge. And now what does this do? This makes cornerbacks come up and tackle. Safeties come up and tackle. As opposed to linebackers and big defensive players, you get your guy out in space where he can use his speed and his physicality against guys that usually cover and don't come up and make tackles.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Ibuka. Make the stop at the 40, but he's got 15 yards on that one and a first down. The time-honored phrase for a quarterback is field general. This dude in this environment, he's like a stadium commander. He's like an elevated rank above field general.
He's like an orchestrator. He knows how to set them off and bring it up and bring the excitement with the big plays and make it look easy time and time again. And that's why this offense is so impressive.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Motion from the offense. Wants to throw. It's Howard. He finds his man. That'll be a gain of about 7. Leaves him with 3rd and 3.
Yeah, great job creating space. That's what you're supposed to do. When you get man coverage, you got to find a way to get a step, make it easy for your quarterback to read that leverage. And when he drags across the field, he could see he had him. He completes it for the first down.
They're looking at a 3rd down and short from the 33. They'll try to run for it. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down marker.
The Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Going up top on first down. Lets it fly deep downfield. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Ohio State is dotting Michigan's eye as the Buckeyes are firmly in control.
And Ohio State, they've let a few get away from their rival in Michigan, and they're trying to get that back. So they came into this one with a chip on their shoulder. They're not always used to being in that position when they play against Michigan. But, David, in the second half here, it's all Buckeyes.
Yeah, and you got to be physical. When you play the Wolverines, you know the type of brand that they play. Ohio State has matched that physicality. They have been ready. They were ready for the game, and they've handled business.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. They put together an 81-yard drive, and the score comes on a touchdown pass covering 28 yards. The kickoff team out there and ready to go. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Gonna run it. It's Edwards. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Looking to throw, it's Warren. He's got it down the middle. And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. This has been utter domination through 3 quarters, and the stats will back that up. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. 3rd and short from the 49. Is this 4-down territory? Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 1st down.
Well, the good news is you got the 1st down running it there on 2nd and short, but the bad news is you're down by quite a bit here in the 4th quarter, and 2, 3, 4-yard gains aren't going to get it done. You've got to start chucking this thing vertically to get back in the game.
And the Wolverines look to keep this drive humming. He's looking to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab.
And I love QBs that understand when they need to put some extra sauce on the football. You see your guys sit down in the zone, running a curl, boom, fire that puppy to him, get it on him now so he can catch it before he gets destroyed. Nice job by the QB putting a little extra sauce on it.
This offense has a 2nd down play. Reads it, fires complete. Tackle is made, but not until he gets the 1st down.
Well, down 2 possessions. Good news is you get the completion. Bad news, though, did not get out of bounds. You know right now, saving the clock. That is at a premium for this offense.
The Wolverines will hustle to the line. Looking downfield, it's Warren. Got his man on the right. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
Great job by the quarterback thrown against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback using his eyes, not staring down his guy, and then throwing him open.
From the red zone, it's Edwards. Noses his way forward, maybe gets one. They'll mark it at the 18.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
The crowd getting behind this defense as they try to get a stop in the red zone. Pulls it in. It's Klein. They get him on the ground after he gets enough to move the sticks.
And even though they're trailing here in the 4th quarter, they've got a quarterback that can bring them back, but they need him now to play his A-plus level of football. We saw a nice completion on that last 3rd down. Let's see if he can keep it going.
And the Wolverines have it with a 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Grabbed in the middle. It's Morris. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we see miracles in college football all of the time, and they could use one here. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Looking to throw, it's Warren. He's got it. They didn't get a ton of yardage there, but they're really effective at using the back out of the backfield, and they do it to get the first down here.
Well, it's important in this game this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
He's looking to pass. Lets it go to the end zone. This is caught for the late touchdown, so let's not put this one to bed just yet.
And listen, still a ways to go, but great job by this offense getting you back in the ball game. Now, we got a one-possession game. We got our score. We did what we're supposed to do. Now, how do we get this stopped? Now, the defense has to come up big and get me the rock back.
Now the two-point conversion attempt is coming. Pushes ahead. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Guys, you want to be productive here and not go into a shell, but you've got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, and I think you say productive, Reese. Productive at this point in the game is running the clock and getting first down. So, Jesse, I can expect this defense to be aggressive, way up near the line of scrimmage, bringing a bunch of bodies, trying to stop the run.
And that's why it puts a lot of pressure on an offense, David, because you know if you do try to throw the football, it's probably man coverage. You're probably getting blitzed. It's going to be into a small window. It is not easy to execute in this situation of the game.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. They stop him after a short game, probably just wanted to mitigate the losses with 4th down coming. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. The Buckeyes send out the punt unit. He's got great speed. Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Looking for a man, it's Warren. Getting some heat. Receiver looks it in, it's complete. A most efficient pickup of 6 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 4.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. And they spike it and get the clock stopped. These fans stepping up to help this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Complete to the right. He's off to the races. And he'll take it in. They couldn't get him on the ground. Touchdown, Wolverines.
Yeah, I tell you what, great job by this offense. Great execution. You drive down the field, you get the score. Now what's your two-point play? You practiced it all week. What's your go-to in this moment late in the 4th quarter when you need the two-point conversion?
They got the touchdown, but still a 2-point conversion short of tying it up late. Wants to go up top. Feeling some heat. And the defense swarms him under the 2-point attempt is stopped, and so too is the attempt to tie the game. Now down by 2, inside a minute to go. If they can get this onside kick, maybe they could get into field goal range. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming.